First up today, let's look at a few indicators that are shaping up surprisingly nicely for Bitcoin. We all know the situation is pretty bleak right now, but I aim to show you just how quickly things can change.
You can't what?
I can't swim.
How old are you?
6.
At least on the short term. First up, the huge buying support Bitcoin currently has. Taking a look at the volume profile shows just how much support there is for Bitcoin at the current price level. While of course still possible, this is quite challenging to break down. The longer this continues, the more likely a move up becomes. There is a huge gap in this area, marked indecision I would say there from traders, selling pressure really only kicking back in right up until the high 9,000s. I've seen these gaps all the time. What it essentially means is if Bitcoin decides to move up, it can do so very, very rapidly. Next indicator, a pretty simple yet powerful tool, the MACD indicator, designed to reveal changes in strength, direction, and momentum. A weakness of this indicator is that sometimes it can reveal a reversal that never actually comes. However, on this occasion, that looks less likely. The downward pressure was very strong and now almost completely receding, creating this very satisfying curve and currently signaling that we are a day or two potentially from a momentum shift. Next indicator, this one is a little bit out there. As reported by Bloomberg, the Bitcoin Global Strength Indicator, which has not shown a buy signal since November to December to 2018 and only recently showing another buy signal now at current price levels. And if we want to get even more out there, we have things like the TD sequential indicator, as well as the parabolic SAR, but I'm not actually going to get into that right now. This is pretty exciting for the long-term prospects of Bitcoin. Again, we have just come out of a bear market. Does anyone remember what Christmas 2018 was like for Bitcoiners? I do. This year we have already suffered, which at worst was a minus 44% pullback. Is that enough capitulation for you? Getting up and over this descending resistance line some traders are using currently, as well as the famed 200-day moving average, of course, could very rapidly change people's perspective on Bitcoin, at least for the short term. And it could happen like that. 7,800 representing the bottom for Bitcoin for potentially a long time. But this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. Being totally honest, I can't bet on the market going up right now. The current trend is still bearish. We would have to see some reaction to the indicators heretofore mentioned before that trend changes. The entire point of this analysis was not to show you what will happen, but just how quickly and easily things could change. And I'm obviously hopeful that it will. Now, assuming we are going up in the short term, I would feel more comfortable if Bitcoin is able to breach, let's say, the high 9,000s in order to prevent posting yet another lower high, which started over here, continued, and would continue again unless this region can be breached. Simply put, if that doesn't happen, then it's not a good look. So Bitcoin is going up or down? Great, thanks Daily. My analysis is obviously more nuanced than that, but sure, we're going up or down. Speaking of going up or down, new research points to what group of people are primarily responsible for the market going down. It's what you'd imagine, actually. Bitcoin conviction remains high among key segment of crypto traders holding their Bitcoin. Quite an interesting read. The main takeaway from this analysis is the fact that the majority of Bitcoin that have moved over the past few weeks and no doubt sold in recent days were from traders who acquired their Bitcoin between $10,000 and $13,000 and represent fresh capital that recently bought in during the minor euphoria over the summer when prices reached new highs of this market cycle, Coinmetrics reveals. So in other words, trading noobs who bought the top and have now sold, possibly at the bottom, doing exactly what normies do. And what does Bitcoin tend to do to normies? Send them to the slaughterhouse. That's right. That's exactly right. The firm's report adds that most of the selling pressure came from this group of investors. Around 500,000 Bitcoin with a $10,000 cost basis was sold during the past 9 days, and the $8,000 cost basis bin increased by 750,000 Bitcoin. Approximately 11.5 million Bitcoin belong to this cohort. Despite the extreme market movement, these holders have remained resolute in their market views. Only 150,000 of the 11.5 million Bitcoin were seen to have moved on-chain. Profit taking or panic selling was limited among these holders. This behavior indicates that for the majority of Bitcoin holders, the market view of Bitcoin being in a bull market remains unchanged. Oh yes, I could fall asleep to someone reading that to me. This report right here. I may get my wife to do just that. Anyway, yes, Bitcoin is going up or down. Whatever happens, it's going to be good for Bitcoin. I appreciate you watching and all the likes, all of that jazz.
That's where I'm going to end today's show. Remember, if you like this video and like what I try to do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit that little bell check so you get a notification when we upload these daily as usual. Actually, if you did miss yesterday's video, you want to click a tab right there to do so. Well, watch that if you're looking for something laid back and you've been something. My name's Philip Frank, and you've been Hollow Phase. I'll see you tomorrow. Nailed it. One take.